Take me to Freedom Town, USA then, I guess. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Ghosts?
Yeah.
Good morning. Zombies?
Yeah.
Good morning. Monsters?
Skeletons?
What?
Hi, happy Halloween. It's good to see you, friends. How are you
Hello.
doing?
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm a spooky, scary skeleton?
And I'm Gadget. I brought tools so you would get it.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Listen, it is a tradition on this show. We've been doing it since the first year of the show, I believe.
We're the ones that started it.
Yeah.
The tradition of wearing costumes this week, I got to take this off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. People just listening to the podcast version. I'm not going to explain it to you.
Nope. I came in wearing my CPAP machine.
Yeah.
We started the whole thing of wearing costumes at the end of October.
Yeah.
We did it. We started it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 7 years ago.
We're 4 years into the show, I think.
Mm-hmm. But we started wearing costumes at the end of the month 6 years ago to scare our friends. We would hide in bushes.
Yes.
And now it's caught on all over the country.
All over the land.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And a few others.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very proud of our legacy. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot of show for you. It's not Halloween themed news, and I was really disappointed by that. I was looking around and I was expecting more Halloween themed news.
There's nothing.
I was expecting some spooky shit.
Mm-mm.
Ain't nothing out there.
I truly adhere to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rule that like nothing spooky or scary happens around Halloween because real spooky scary things find it gauche.
All right. I'm with
They
that.
find it gauche.
That's totally fair. We do have a lot of news to get to, though. We're going to talk about that Spider-Man movie. You might have seen some announcements.
Surprise!
Surprise! Spider-Man's back.
Surprise to everyone.
We're going to talk about some fun, silly, weird, last-minute political news, but not the like bad kind like we had on Friday.
No.
We've got some like shit's just kind of weird out here this year. We've got, I don't know, some games news, and we have a trailer that I cannot wait. Anthony, there was a link in there that I said, if you have not seen this trailer, please don't click it. Have you seen it?
No, and I did not click it.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
Because I saw it and I said, uh-oh.
The only frightening news then, I'm not going to give literally any spoilers about it, but we are going to watch the trailer for the movie The Carpenter. Do you know anything about it?
It's about Sabrina and Sarah Carpenter.
Amazing. I can't wait. In fact, no, we should start with Spider-Man. We should start with the big news.
We should start with the big news.
But
no, we got to start with the biggest news. Did she get her phone?
she did. Look at that. Okay. If you've been here for a while, you might have been here a little over a month ago when you all talked me into and also put money towards our tip goal to buy the Barbie flip phone. And here she is, y'all. She's here. She's real. I love her so much. I made an unboxing video on my TikTok if you want to see the details of it. But it is as perfect as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It really is. It has little games on it. It's so cute. T9 texting really does come back to you.
T9, I think, I mean, look, I'm not gonna like rose-colored glasses this.
Uh-huh.
I think I got pretty quick with T9. Obviously not like typing quick, but I think I got pretty all right at T9.
Honestly, and the thing is, towards the end of using T9, something came out that was like predictive, essentially T9, where you don't have to press the button multiple times.
Nope.
So this has that, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It has like a Bejeweled game on it. It has Snake. It has 2048.
Wow.
Some classics. It has a whole app that is just a section of like tips for adjusting to not using a smartphone.
Really?
Yeah. They know exactly who's buying this. They know this isn't like, oh, get someone their first phone, necessarily phone. This is, you want a dumb phone.
Yeah.
There's a whole app on there for it. The camera, not gonna lie, pretty good. It's actually pretty decent. However, there is no camera on the inside. So you have to do this.
There's no camera on the inside. Just
And
beauty. Just beauty on
And
the
there's
inside.
this camera here. And I thought maybe you can close the phone and do it that way. No, you can't.
No, because the phone's sleeping.
No, you can't. You got to do this. There is a tiny display on the front, but mostly a mirror, so you can check
Yeah.
your lipstick. I love this thing. It's fantastic. When it turns on, it does say hi, Barbie.
Now, do you have to move your SIM card back and forth?
So I haven't actually moved service over to this yet. I've just
Okay.
been playing with it for fun, and I'm connecting it to the internet and can use it that way. But
Yeah.
it does need some kind of SIM card. So
Right.
you said you would figure this out for me. So after the show today, I'm going to go, Anthony, make it work with my phone, because my goal is not to switch over to this full time.
Yeah.
My goal is to have it also connected to my phone number and be able to take little breaks from my smartphone and be able to be like, oh, today I don't need to be connected to the internet. I don't need to be
So-
obsessively checking my email.
If I remember correctly, because I had a light phone,
Yeah.
which is the boring old hipster version
Yes.
of a Barbie phone, and I don't have it anymore. But I think what you have to do is you have to get like a SIM card for a smartwatch and tell
Okay.
them like you have like a secondary device,
Nice.
and then you put that in, and it
Okay.
won't like your phone calls will be forwarded.
Yeah.
Your texts will come from potentially a different number.
Weird.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Again, really, the thing is I would like to be a person that can just leave the house without my phone.
Yeah.
But I have too much anxiety for that. So for me, all it is if you need me, you can reach me. You can call
Beat
me,
me,
beat me if you
yeah.
want to reach me.
Yeah.
I did almost dress as Kim Possible today. That was one of my alternates for my costume today.
But we did that last year.
I know. Well, no, I did Shigo.
Right.
I didn't do Kim.
Right.
We had a lot of options, but this is what we went with because it was cute and cozy and comfortable, and I felt like a little guy. Anyways,
Because
so
you're a bit
yeah,
of a little guy.
this is just like I'm a few people's emergency contact.
Yeah. That's the thing is like with the secondary number,
Mhm.
it's like, well, that's going to be your phone for when you don't want a lot of people to get in touch with you.
Right.
So only the important people in your life need to know the second number.
That's
and
it.
they don't actually need to know it to call it.
Yeah,
They just need to know when a text comes from that number,
Yeah.
it's you.
yeah. I have 3 contacts currently.
Yeah. You know when you're in your address book, it's like home, mobile,
Yeah,
Barbie.
yeah, exactly. Call me Barbie if you want to reach me.
That's right.
That's it. So that's the idea. I think because it'll forward my calls, it'll still go to like you guys can call my phone, but if I
Yes.
call you back, it might be something else.
Exactly.
And I think that's neat. I think it's good. I don't feel the same way about social media I did a year ago. So
I was at a non-Halloween related housewarming.
Yeah.
Last night, and there were some other elders of the internet there with me, and I was talking about how I could not really explain to you like the positivity behind Foursquare, which was the app where you used to check in where you
Yes.
were publicly.
which was before my time, but
Yeah.
I'm familiar with
You're
it.
familiar with it, but like if I explain it to people now who weren't there at the time,
It sounds fucking insane.
it sounds like a
Because
nightmare.
it is.
Because you go to a place, and Foursquare was about like you go to a place and you literally broadcast to the internet publicly.
Yeah.
Here's where I am right now.
Can't
And-
imagine.
And the whole idea was like, all your friends will know where you are, and like
No
they'll
thanks.
show if you're at the bar, they'll show up at the bar. You don't
No.
really need to make a lot of plans.
Nay.
Obviously, that's Terror Dome.
No thank you to you.
We were so young and foolish about the internet.
Yeah, and it's funny because every social media app has tried to integrate that eventually. Of like, yeah, why don't you check in somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
Facebook was really intense with check-ins for a little bit. Instagram started some really intense geolocating. Snapchat did it.
Yeah.
And it's always a bad idea. Don't post your location on the internet.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. We were talking about it because everybody, sends guest lists now through like Partiful.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, this is great because we all got to leave Facebook because the only reason any of us were on Facebook were like, what if my friend has a birthday party?
Yeah.
I need to know.
Yeah. It's I can remember my friends' birthdays. That's nice. I do like
Yeah.
that I get a notification for my friends' birthdays because I'm not great with dates.
Yep.
Facebook Marketplace keeps me.
Mhm.
Facebook Marketplace keeps me.
There's another fly.
There is.
There's
there is a
another
fruit
fly. And I was like, man, I wonder if there is a safe, responsible, good way to bring Foursquare back. And I don't think there is.
If it only served that purpose, then why? If you're against the main purpose of it, which is tell my friends where I am.
Well, it was tell the internet where I am.
Yeah.
And then
so you want something where you could just tell your friends.
I want something with like varying levels of security, but I want it to be, and the reason we went down this rabbit hole last night, and the reason I think I want a Foursquare, as opposed to like somebody was like, well, you could post where you are on your Instagram story or something like that. It's the difference between push and pull.
Okay.
Somebody has to go onto the internet, onto Instagram, and say, I wonder what Anthony's doing.
Yeah.
And then go to my story
and
hope that I posted, versus the push of opening up an app and like, here are my friends that want to hang out.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Can I introduce you to dropping a pin in the group chat?
But here's the reason why the group chat doesn't work either. You might have a friend that you haven't seen in a while that's not in the group chat.
I don't.
That well, that's easy.
I don't have any friends outside the group chat.
That's solved.
All my friends are in the group chat.
That's solved.
That's it.
No, I know a lot of people
like in the group chat.
That was kind of the beauty of Foursquare is like you'd run into somebody that you hadn't seen in a while because they were like, oh, I saw you were at the bar and I was in the neighborhood.
That is horrific to me. I hate running into people. This is a personal pet peeve of mine. And I understand in this scenario, you're setting yourself up. You know you put it out, so you're prepared for it.
Yes.
But like my greatest nightmare is running into people when I'm not prepared to see somebody. Before I socialize, I'm preparing. And I consider myself an extrovert, but I'm preparing for who I'm going to see and how we're going to interact and what conversations we're going to have. Because I'm an extrovert, but I'm also autistic. So for me, no surprises. Like, oh, somebody brings a friend, that's fine. That's a level of surprise I can handle. The once removed surprise. But the, oh, hey, I saw you were here and I came, we're not friends anymore. Weirdo. What do you mean you saw I was here and you came out?
You know what? There's a I also think that there is a difference in mindset, social mindset between East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the way like East Coast cities are built and the way they work. Like part of the magic of living in New York was always you don't know who you're going to run into, but you're going to run into somebody.
Which is great in a very How I Met Your Mother kind of way. Sure. However, how many of the people saying, yeah, they want that again were women? Because for me, if I were to post on my little, here's just people I know, who do you think is going to show up? Is it going to be all the girlies that I can't wait to see, or were those the girls in the group chat?
But
is it going to be the reply guys?
But that's why
reply guys are who's going to show up.
But that's why I'm saying I want the new one to have some sort of levels. Like what, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So you could have I'm at the bar and I am ready for anyone to show up, or I'm at the bar and like I've got a group that's like already set up that's like, hey, these are like the cools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The group chat.
I guess it's the group chat.
The inner circle's the group chat, and I don't like anyone outside the group chat. That's just what it's going to come down to for me.
Everybody in the live studio audience. So some sort of group chat is what you're saying.
So some sort of group chat.
I guess.
You know, just the inner circle, just the few people that you want to know.
I guess, but I guess the difference between the two of us is, I do also want those days sometimes where like I could run into anybody.
Yeah. Again, that is the difference of being a man.
Sure.
Right?
There were
ready to run into anybody?
Yes.
A different experience and a valid experience.
Yes. Generally. Generally, in a general sense. Yes. I agree with you.
A little less to worry about.
Yes. There were women that were part of the Foursquare thing that were there last night. That were like,
they're not opening up that.
No, but they were like, I would love for Foursquare to come back.
Sure. Yeah. In theory.
Sure.
Until Foursquare comes back.
Until Foursquare comes back,
okay.
maybe.
Yeah. Until I could run into anybody at the bar.
Yeah. You could have a square that's just, a square that's just people that you don't have to cover your drink.
Yeah. You know where those people are?
The group chat. Hey, we've got some stories for you. We are going to talk about that Spider-Man.
I already told him the stories.
You told him we got Spider-Man and some political, right?
No, I said a bunch of these.
A bunch of these?
Yeah, I did.
Great.
All right, let's talk about Spider-Man.
Then let's talk about him.
All right, so I was shocked by this. There has been a lot of back and forth on whether or not there would ever be another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, or honestly, a live-action Spider-Man movie anytime soon because of the great Sony Marvel divide.
And over the last few weeks, a lot of viral clips of Tom Holland talking about how they're really trying to make it happen. They hope that they can make it happen. The script is there. It's pretty good, but he has no idea when it's going to happen.
Do you think it's a coincidence that there was also like a really attractive clip of Tom Holland trending this week defending Zendaya?
Oh, did
you see it?
These things are all coincidental. These things are all coincidental.
Yeah, total coincidence. But did you see that clip?
No.
They were getting out of a car and there was a bunch of paparazzi like shoving shit for her to sign in her face and like people taking photos of her, fans, whatever. And he just walked up to some, you know, those dudes who bring like a stack of things to sign, just like ripped it out of his hand and like put his arm around her and walked her right through. And it was very hot. It was just one of those things where he was just like, no. And you could see her like they swarmed him, but they really swarmed her. And it was just like, not today, motherfucker. And you can just see her face like, okay.
Like, she's like, that's right.
Yeah. Look, the best way to sell a man to the public is princess treatment to a woman.
Yep.
That's it.
Second best way to do it, lip syncing to Rihanna.
Oh.
Lip syncing to Rihanna in lingerie.
Two different directions.
Yeah. That's just both very particular to Tom Holland. But
no, for sure.
Yeah. So Sony in a tweet.
Yeah.
Like in just a tweet.
Yeah.
Said, yo, and listen, probably has something to do with the box office of Venom 3 too. Sony did a tweet and they're like, Spider-Man 4!
Spider-Man 4! There's nothing else, which is so funny because I'm like, have we gotten any that were just like, hey, we're doing a third, a second? Or I feel like we don't get an announcement until there's like a name and a movie that's happening.
Yeah, so this is the difference once again between the Marvel side of things and the Sony side of things. And we've seen this 100 times. Sony Pictures has to be the most reactionary studio I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Sony Pictures is never on the offensive. They're always on the defensive.
Yes.
Sony Pictures will look at a perfectly good movie and be worried that 17 people may not like the third act and completely change the entire movie. I'm looking at you, Ghostbusters 2016.
However, they'll also watch back a movie and be like, not one single person will like this, and then change nothing.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes they watch back a movie and they go, no one's gonna like this. Ship it.
But here's what I think though, Saige. Those edits, like the things that we saw, like
voicing over the entirety of the character, like Madam Web,
like Madam Web, like all those kind of things that Sony does, where it's like this movie is soup. This movie is simply soup.
Because they did that too many times?
Exactly. It's not that they don't care.
Yeah.
It's that 18 different people brought up 18 different things that one person might have a problem with.
And they said yes to all of them.
And every Sony executive also, it's really like, Sony as a whole is really like weird about you better have your finger in every single project.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when like your review comes up, you're out. And so like every single person at Sony Pictures, I'm sure, is like, yo, I did this one change in Madam Web. I did something to Madam Web. My name is on it.
Yeah.
You cannot fire me. I worked on Madam Web.
Haha. Got him. Absolutely got him. This caught me so off guard that because I hadn't seen any buzzing around it this week. I just somehow missed that.
Yeah.
So I genuinely
we were getting two different PSYOP TikTok feeds.
Yeah. I was getting look how cute Tom and Zendaya are, and that was making sense. That does make sense, but I wasn't getting like, oh, Spider-Man might be happening. I didn't get anything about this script.
Half my feed, regardless of whether anything Spider-Man is going on, half my feed on any social network is somehow Spider-Man related.
Oh, yeah?
I get a lot of Spider-Man stuff.
I get nothing Spider-Man on my feed. So I was so surprised by this that when I was scrolling through to pull stories yesterday, and maybe I have just been a little more offline as of late, but I saw the headline, Spider-Man 4 release date, and I went, we've only had 2.5 games. Like I was thinking it was the game, and I was like, maybe they already announced the dates for 3 and then they're lining up the dates for 4 too.
Can I tell you? When I first saw Spider-Man 4, for a brief moment, I thought the same thing.
Right, because I genuinely, I had to go, wait a minute, they called the last one 2, right? Because I was like, there was Miles Morales in the middle, so technically the next one could be considered the 4th game. I literally like really sat there trying to justify it too, because also we don't call those movies Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
No.
We call the games, though, Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. When you talk, because the reason why we can't do it is because there was already a Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And then another Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And so you have to be very, very specific.
But that's why once they got to 4, they were like, who cares? There's never been a Spider-Man 4.
We broke the curse.
Yeah.
Eat shit, Sam
now
Raimi.
we can just use Spider-Man 4.
We did what you couldn't.
Yeah.
So this is going to be by the Shang-Chi director, Destin Daniel Cretton.
Yeah.
Who is taking over. As we know, John Watts took off. He said, I did 3. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
I'm moving on to Marvel's first fam.
Yeah.
And Destin Daniel Cretton said, let's be real. Shang-Chi 2 is caught up in some stuff.
Yep.
We don't know what kind of stuff, but it's clear that it is.
Yep.
Why don't you all give me something to do?
Yeah.
In the meantime, and Marvel said, buddy, have we got the thing for you?
Now, how do you feel about this? Are you a big Shang-Chi fan?
I loved Shang-Chi.
Okay.
I thought the fact that we got that style of movie in America
Yeah.
Was so amazing. As somebody that grew up watching Michelle Yeoh and Jet Li and Wing Chun heroic trio and stuff like that, to get that kind of movie in America made me so happy.
Yeah. So for me, Shang-Chi, the first time I saw it, I loved it. I was stunned by it. I loved it. The second time I watched it, I went, that's enough time seeing this movie for me. I'm set. I'm good. And the way I've landed on it when thinking about this is it was very well directed. Like it was a fantastic action film. I think the writing left a little bit desired on the dialogue for me. And some of it kind of makes me go like, okay.
And some of it was done in a way that was faithful to that style of film. It
was just a little annoying.
In a way that felt like, felt a little stilted and antiquated when it was put into like a more modern and less, Asian setting, where it's not like part of that sort of storytelling isn't part of the whole thing.
Yeah. Awkwafina's character was just a little tough on her dialogue for me. So I that's why I'm like, I don't need to watch the movie again, but I love to watch clips from that movie and enjoy the actual choreography, action, and directing of it so much that I feel good about this.
Awkwafina as the audience insert character in that movie was wild. Wasn't
me as an audience.
Was wild.
Did not insert me as audience.
And one thing that I really enjoyed about it is because he did such a good job directing it, there are some directors that when it comes time to do the big action stuff in any current CG, big budget, studio summertime movie, it turns into slop that you can't follow.
Yeah.
Because it's real tough. You're going back and forth between a crew and like a team of CG artists and like post directors and all this stuff. And a lot of times these big action sequences just fall apart.
Yeah.
They did not fall apart in Shang-Chi.
For sure.
They were very clear to follow.
100%.
Like you could say like the one at the end was like a little too much computer. It was a little too much light and magic of the industrial kind maybe.
Sure.
But it was clear and easy to follow. And that's why I think like he's going to do a great job with this.
I think so too. I was looking actually at his IMDb because I was like, what else has he directed other than Shang-Chi? Now,
wasn't he like a commercial guy?
I don't know, because
guy?
those don't pop up on IMDb primarily. Music videos usually do, but it depends on if they list it. He only has 12 credits as a director total, and like half of those are short films.
Yeah.
Which is really wild because he made his last short film in, looks like 2014 or so, and then there was only 3 credits between that and Shang-Chi. And he's directed one thing since, which is American Born Chinese, 2 episodes of the TV series. And it's just wild that a dude with 12 credits that's about to be like, 13 and 2 of them are Marvel movies.
Yeah. But
that's rad.
That's rad. And there was a time like around phase 2, phase 3. It was also the thing with Star Wars and some other movies too. Like when you think about when you think about the director of the Jurassic World movies,
Yeah.
his movie credit before that, I think, was Safety Not Guaranteed, which was that indie film with Mark Duplass and Aubrey Plaza where the guy builds a time machine, right? When you think about Gareth Edwards doing Godzilla and Rogue One, before that, he had only done Monster, which was his indie film. And so there was like this whole thing for a little while of like taking people who did really, really amazing indie films and being like, congratulations, you're running this franchise.
Yeah.
And I think it was two reasons, right? Like you bring in a new director that's really got a fresh take on things and that's fun too. But also like if you get a director when they're just beginning their career, you can hand them an outline.
Right.
And you can say,
yeah, for sure.
The movie needs to hit these points. Make it hit these points. And it's not somebody who's going to argue back with you
Not as
a lot.
precious about it. His upcoming credits also include the Wonder Man TV miniseries.
Dude.
Yeah. As a director, Untitled
Wonder Man is coming, baby.
Naruto.
Hell
It
yeah.
looks like he is signed on to direct, I think, a Naruto movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. An upcoming Naruto movie. And then, of course, this and the Shang-Chi sequel.
Dude, I can't wait
So,
for Wonder
wild.
Man.
I know nothing about Wonder Man.
Dude, Wonder
outside
Man.
of my purview.
Wonder Man is the most Marvel. We're in Marvel now, baby. Wonder Man is like, he was a Hollywood stunt actor who winds up having powers of his own, but they're connected to the memories of other powers and other people. And like, it's so...
He looks a lot like Nightwing in a lot of things.
He has a lot of that energy.
He looks like Nightwing in a lot of his suits.
He's got a lot of that. He's got a lot of that Dick Grayson style energy.
Yeah.
But he is so... It's so complicated. I can't.
Okay, great.
I can't wait. There are the two things that I can't wait for to see how they drop and how they work.
Yeah.
Wonder Man and the Sentry.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see how people react to Wonder Man and the Sentry.
Phenomenal.
Because I can't tell with Marvel stuff anymore what people are going to latch onto, really.
Right.
Like with the big ones, you can, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody wants another Spider-Man. People are going to be hyped for the Fantastic Four. But like, the smart money was not on Agatha all along being the most watched Marvel series.
No.
That was not where the smart money was.
Yeah.
But like,
has it been?
We were hoping for it.
Yeah.
And it is.
I didn't realize that it was. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like the most watched thing.
I did finally catch up. Oh my God.
It's so good.
The last 2 episodes, both of them, so good. I cannot wait for this week.
Yeah. I'm very interested in what he's going to do with Spider-Man. The thing, where we left off Spider-Man at the end of 3, which of course, I'm not talking about the video game 3 or the Tobey Maguire 3.
Right.
I'm talking about Tom Holland's Spider-Man, No Way Home. They had given with these 3 with the Tom Holland's 3 movies, something that like Spider-Man fans have always wanted, which is a happy Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Who's like well supported and has like his friends and family behind him.
Yeah.
4 is where the real Peter Parker happens.
I know. I'm very curious to see how they navigate that with Tom Holland. And I'm glad we've had the time with him as like sweet boy Spider-Man. Because it won't make you like, oh, why are you like this?
Yeah.
We've seen it. We know why he's like this now.
Yeah.
And you could know before, but you didn't see it because Tobey Maguire started out as a little spooky.
Yeah.
I stand by that.
Peter Parker, up until the Tom Holland movies, was literally just a man who hadn't gone to therapy or had his ADHD diagnosed.
Yeah.
And as somebody who grew up without therapy and his ADHD diagnosed,
yeah,
I love Peter Parker.
Sure. Yeah.
But but like you look back at like classic Peter Parker or Tobey's Peter Parker, and you're like, my dude, particularly Tobey.
Yeah.
Particularly
Tobey. Tobey is like in a little too dark of a place for all 3 movies.
Tobey is fucking weird, dude.
Tobey's a little too much of a bummer where you're like, ooh, buddy.
Yeah. And he's like a little obsessive. He's like, listen, Tobey is not the person you add to Foursquare.
No.
Toby's Peter Parker,
Yeah.
not on Foursquare.
Would not be on my Foursquare.
Not in the group chat. But I'm excited to see what they do with this next one. It should be very, very interesting. And that's going to come, what was it? It's 2026, they said? What did they say for that date? Yeah, July 24th, 2026. Freaking wild.
Yeah.
Freaking wild.
I'm hearing myself.
I
Here we
liked
go.
Andrews. We all liked Andrews.
Yes.
Andrew was the best Spider-Man in the worst movies.
See, I disagree, and I did title today's episode "The Best Spider-Man is Back" because I knew that you would end up saying that it was Andrew Garfield.
Look,
But disagree.
here's what I'm going to say.
I think without a doubt, Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
Tom Holland is Spider-Man, but there's an alternate universe where Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone got the scripts they deserved.
Sure, I think Andrew Garfield was a fantastic Spider-Man, but I think Tom Holland is better.
Tom Holland now is
Tom
the
Holland
best
better.
Spider-Man,
I
for
think
sure.
he is. I'm sorry. It is what it is. While we're on movies, though.
Yeah, let's watch this trailer you have for me. What is this?
So this is for the movie The Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to watch this whole trailer together. And that's necessary.
Okay.
And YouTube, if you yell at us, I'll be really upset. So don't, okay?
Yeah, don't do it, YouTube.
Don't do it.
Be cool, YouTube.
This is called fair use.
Fair use, YouTube. We're reacting.
We are reacting.
Hey,
Okay.
if you can put Sniper Wolf on a billboard, we can react to this.
All right, Anthony, let's watch this together.
Okay. This is boring.
Name? Warren. Where are you from?
Quick test, because I can't see if they can hear, but I think you guys could hear that, right? Just for the live chat, that would be very helpful because I'm running tech on my own today, and the thing isn't scrolled down enough.
I think all they had was 2 words, but
Yeah,
can you hear
I
it?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they heard it. That's
Okay.
great.
Kena. You don't look like you're from Canaan. I know where I'm from.
No.
What do you think this is about?
No.
What do you think this is?
Is this about Jesus in a fighting club?
That's an excellent question.
Is this about Jesus in a fight club?
Only with your fists. You must use this
I'm gonna turn
organ
down a little bit
to
on here because they're probably getting a little bit doubled. Oh, I don't know why that paused, but okay. He is the king of the ring.
King of the Ring.
So you're thinking, okay, it's called the Carpenter.
But is he also the king above all?
Now, is
Every
he?
time you have
That's a great
train
question.
and
The
heal.
movie's called The Carpenter, so we know who that is. We've heard of him.
What do you do for work?
I'm an apprentice.
For who?
Is he Jesus' apprentice and he's in a fight club? Is he Jesus' bodyguard fighter? Yeah, he is.
anyone I've ever worked with. Does Carpenter pay?
He's the guy that
care
keeps
what I need.
Jesus safe.
Good life lessons to be
No,
learned from
he's
sport.
just Jesus' bud. It's also a fighter, a prize
Can
fighter.
you cultivate it to positively affect those around you?
And Jesus is guiding him to do good through fighting, I guess.
What?
400 denarii.
Helping him to be
Saige.
a good boy.
Sage, this is day 1 for me.
You really enjoy
Sage, this is
not just
day
the
1,
fight.
screening 1 for me.
It's not just the fight, it's the training.
Whatever they put in front
He
of me.
said, is that Carpenter paying you? And he said, he takes care of what I need.
Whoa, you're aware of his
He's
miracles.
a carpenter. Son of a carpenter.
No. Look further.
So I help you.
It's Bible
somebody
fanfic.
Can I?
It's a sexy relationship between 2 sexy men.
Yo,
One of them is
can we go back to the
Jesus.
dudes on the stoop drinking like a literal medieval Corona?
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious style?
Yeah. Now there's gladiators. I don't think this was aligned on its time period at all.
I love that it's one of those movies where all the tunics look like they're just t-shirts that have
Yeah.
been sewn up.
Uh-huh.
Saige, this is so good.
This is so good.
This is so good.
I thought you would enjoy this very much. I was so excited that you hadn't seen this trailer yet. Some of my favorite comments are pitch meeting. It's about the Bible, but there's a white dude with big muscles and he fights for a living and he meets Jesus and he's ripped and he kicks ass. And also Jesus is there somewhere. Someone said, so it's like Bible fan fiction? And he said, yes, let's do it.
I, as someone that grew up 30 minutes from the Holy Land Experience theme park,
Ugh,
I approve of this film.
it is giving Holy Land.
It also reminds me of, there was a cartoon that was always advertised on TV called Superbook. And it was an anime. It was an anime about 2 kids with a robot that was also a time machine that took them through the Bible.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a new version of Superbook. That's not the classic
this isn't
version.
classic Superbook.
No, this is new.
Well, they've done a
Superbook.
3D animated Superbook now.
Oh, 80s Superbook was wild. Superbook was like, because I didn't know what it was. It just looked like an action anime cartoon.
Yeah.
And
here
I was
it
just
is.
like,
oh no.
this is why kids are so susceptible to propaganda.
Yeah.
I looked at that and I was like, 2 kids and a robot travel through time?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. And then I watched like half an episode of it. My mom walked in. She's like, what you watching? I was like, Superbook. And she's like, okay. And she walked away. And then 2 minutes later, I was like, hey, Mom. And she's like, yeah. I was like, is this about the Bible? And she's like, yeah, I think it's about the Bible. I was
yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure that's about
what?
that one's not ours.
That robot is dressed like a Templar. The robot is dressed like a Templar. Explain to a 4-year-old me what a Templar is.
Hey guys, what the fuck is
Hey
going on?
guys, he's about to sacrifice.
Hey, guys.
I think he's about to sacrifice Isaac.
Hey, guys,
I think that's
what
the
fuck
story
is this?
there.
We had Veggie Tales, obviously.
Yeah,
that was
Veggie
my
Tales.
childhood Christian propaganda. And look, the songs were catchy. I still remember all of the words to Multiple to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Did those songs have anything to do with Jesus? No. The Jesus integration, a lot more subtle.
Yes.
They'd be like, one for you, one for me. One for you, one for Jesus.
Yeah.
One for him,
No.
capital H.
No, this was 2 children
Yeah.
who would travel with a robot,
Yeah.
and they would be like, "Where are we now?" And it's like, "Well, we're on the Red Sea, kids, and it looks like we're gonna have a long walk ahead of us."
And that's who's saying it. That's blue-eyed Jesus.
There he is.
White, blue-eyed Jesus.
That's right. That's the Jesus we grew up with here in America. The
Now
one
brown
Jesus.
eyes, maybe? The one
Sometimes.
true Jesus.
No, the blue-eyed one is Jesus. That one could have been any of the others. That could have been an Abraham. That could have been a Moses.
They all looked like that.
They all looked like that. But it was like, it was wild because it was exact ripoff of like Time Bokon, which was like a very popular anime.
Okay.
But Time Bokon like went through real history.
Sure.
This was Time Bokon for spreading Christianity throughout Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Buck
see
wild.
when this most recent Superbook was. I'm curious. That was a 2011 reboot. To 2021. That's a long run.
Superbook.
Whoa. The Superbook reboot got 5 seasons spread out over 10 years somehow.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah, because the last season was 2019 to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's huge. That's huge. Hey, congratulations to the Superbook team.
So the Carpenter comes out November 1st of this year.
I'm going to be out of town.
Oh no. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Remember?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
I was like,
you're taking the boy.
yeah.
Or
No,
I'm
you're
taking the boy.
taking the boy.
You're leaving. I'm taking the boy, I think. I don't know.
Can we watch? Okay, if you have to watch it opening weekend, I understand. But if not, can we please watch it when I come back?
We can watch it when you come back and review it on the Patreon, obviously.
Okay. Because I have to see. Hey, if you're looking for like a very cool, fun version of Jesus Had a Buddy, Christopher Moore, who is a brilliant, brilliant writer, wrote a book. I can't remember what it was. Oh, Lamb. He wrote a book called Lamb, and it was called The Lost Gospel of Biff, Jesus' best friend.
Yes.
And it is such a funny, good story about like Jesus having a dumb friend,
Yeah.
a dumb, mean friend who was there to like make sure Jesus actually got through the world okay.
Okay. Wow.
Like it's sort of like the samurai that protects a monk.
Biff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Biff.
Biff.
So funny. All of Christopher Moore's books are funny, but that was like a really good one.
I just looked because it says in theaters nationwide. And I was like, what theaters though, bestie?
Yeah, is this one
Like,
of those
do you mean
releases?
that? And it is. I looked, and what's so funny about it is I looked for Los Angeles theaters and playing all over Orange County.
Of course.
It's playing all over the little red spot in Southern California that's between the cool places
Yes.
called Orange County, which is about an hour away.
That's where you're from.
It is. It's awful. It's bad there. I don't recommend it at all. So yeah, tons of spots there, but that's the closest it is to us. And although it comes out on November 1st in the way that movies do now, you can see it at 6 p.m. on Halloween if you want. Halloween.
And I do. And I do.
So,
and I might.
Pretty exciting.
But I'm not going to go to Orange County to see it.
No, sure. You wouldn't download a Jesus. You wouldn't download a Carpenter.
The worst kind of piracy.
You wouldn't.
The piracy of the Christ.
You would.
Directed by Melford Gibson.
Oh, God.
Hey, by the way, Andrew Garfield, the timing on that Mel Gibson endorsement.
What?
So a couple weeks ago, Andrew Garfield's been doing the press circuit for
the
his
movie with Florence Pugh?
Yeah, the movie with the life-size cardboard cutout of Florence Pugh. I don't know if you saw that as well. She couldn't come to the premiere because she's shooting another movie. He showed up to the premiere of We Live in Time with a cardboard cutout, life-size Florence Pugh.
Perfect.
And was like making sure all the pictures were of the cardboard cutout and not him.
Everybody wants them to be in love so badly, and they're leaning into it so hard, and I love that for them.
That's Andrew Garfield's thing.
Yeah.
People want to ship Andrew Garfield with people, and he is down to clown on that front.
Yeah, he is.
But he had this like very in-depth interview, and he was like, listen, because he was in Hacksaw Ridge or whatever, that Mel Gibson movie. And he was like, look, when I know his history. I was very aware of his history before working with him. I'm a Jewish man. I had a lot of conversations with him before I started the movie with him and during the movie. And he's like, look, the time between all the stuff that happened in the press and when we did the movie was a long time. And everything that I found when working with him was he had grown and he had changed and like blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I am a fan of forgiving people and yada, yada, yada. Which is all
okay, Jesus.
Which like Andrew Garfield for Jesus. Andrew Garfield was the best Jesus, the best live action Jesus. So he was basically like, I do think he's a good director. I think he should have a shot at directing again.
Yeah,
and then
he said
a week
people deserve second chances.
Yeah, and then a week later, Mel Gibson just Mel Gibsons and is like, what's up? Obviously Trump. What's up? Obviously fuck these people. What's up?
Yeah. For those who are not aware, previously Mel Gibson got drunk and said, fucking Jews. The Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. And then repeatedly asked people if they were a Jew.
Yep. He was arrested for drunk driving, called the police officer sugar tits, and was screaming and trying to find out which ones were the Jews that were trying to bring him down. Listen, even before this happened, when he directed The Passion of the Christ, I went and I saw The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Because I was like, look, this is going to be a big deal in movie history.
Yeah.
I was in school. I was still thinking I was going to be a guy who made movies at the time. I was like, all right, we're going to see The Passion of the Christ. I went and I saw it. I was like, yo, this guy hates Jewish people.
Oh my God, so much. You know what's crazy? So my brother was a teenager when The Passion of the Christ came out. I was a kid.
Yeah.
And we had a friend of the family who was super Christian, knew we were Jewish, and definitely always had a like, but hey kids, you want to come with me to church?
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
Took my brother to go see The Passion of the Christ. My brother came back a Christian for a couple weeks.
Sure.
My brother was like, actually,
do you know, it's kind of our fault.
Yeah. For like a couple of weeks, my brother was like, what about this Jesus guy? Maybe we were wrong about him.
Also, hey, that's not even biblically accurate.
No, of course not.
That's just anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
So yeah, Andrew Garfield, no points off for being a nice guy who wants to forgive, but let's not back anybody like that again.
Yeah, I wish you would not.
I wish you hadn't.
And because of that final tipping point, I feel very confident saying Tom Holland, best Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, look, now I got to give it to him.
Final tipping point.
Not even an asterisk.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Best Spider-Man.
Not even a what if? No.
Yeah. Well, hey, since Mel Gibson just endorsed Trump, let's talk about a little political news.
Sure.
And we don't have all of the weird garbage political news.
No, we have the good political news. We have political news that is specifically relevant to me. Folks, you probably heard of our next vice president of the United States, Tim Walz.
And you've probably heard of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Famous Twitch streamer. AOC.
Yeah, she's actually, before she had to do so much working in the government all the time,
Yeah.
pretty good league player.
Yeah.
Pretty good league player, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Well, Tim Walz showed up on AOC's Twitch channel to play the game that only he can play so well. Crazy Taxi.
They did look. This was a campaign appearance. They talked about the coming. Shocking, I know.
What?
They talked about the upcoming election. They also played a little bit of Madden NFL 25.
Yep. He's also a Madden
also
guy.
said he's a big Madden guy. So he played Madden NFL 25.
But the last Madden he played was on the Dreamcast too.
Yeah.
So
But he jumped in.
He jumped in. Look, it was cool. He played Crazy Taxi. They played the remake. And he was initially like, look, I don't know the Xbox controls, so it's going to take me a minute. But he's good at Crazy Taxi.
They said he did pretty well.
He's good
Other than fumbling controls because he didn't know how to use an Xbox controller.
Once he got the hang,
Yeah.
he's good at Crazy Taxi in a way that I absolutely believe he did nothing but play Crazy Taxi for a few years, like he said.
100%.
Because the whole idea, the whole story is Tim Walz had his Dreamcast taken away because he had to give his Dreamcast to his wife and be like, take this away from me.
Yeah.
Because he was playing way too much Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
There's also a Crazy Taxi mod, and he mentioned it on the stream. There's a Crazy Taxi mod for the Dreamcast now where you can put Tim Walz in.
That's so funny. Yeah. We talked about that on the show a while ago.
Can we show a clip of him actually Crazy Taxiing?
I don't have a clip here in this.
Oh, there wasn't one in the story?
No.
Lame.
I don't think so.
Wait, here we go. Here we go. I got one.
Yeah, I got it. All right. I'm just going to mute it. There we go.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he talks in this a little bit about, again, getting his bearings on it. And he's like, oh no, I'm like a New York cabbie. He talks about preferring the fun and chaos of this to something more realistic like Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
That's great. I would really like a vice president who prefers Crazy Taxi to Grand Theft Auto as a general sentiment. I actually think that's really a green flag for me. This clip is so glitchy.
It's so glitchy, but he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do love Kodoroku in the live studio audience. AOC just beaming.
Yeah.
Listen, when gamers find other gamers, and not in a place where you wouldn't expect, when we find games in a hopeless place.
Yes. Of course.
When you're at a very high functioning, super professional thing.
Yeah.
And you find somebody who's like, oh yeah, and I also play Magic, or I also play video games. You're like, yeah. And so to find somebody, damn, you know what else? You know what else I think she's thinking on a political level?
Huh?
It's gonna be so easy to get time with this guy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so easy for her to get time with this guy.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, yo, Tim, did you play that ukulele re-release?
Yeah, exactly.
Ukulele? Yeah, it's like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. He's gonna love that.
He's gonna love the new ukulele.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I'm logged out everything, trying to fix it.
This is very good. I'm very excited about this.
But that was not the only political gaming news, which is so funny to say.
No?
The Harris campaign also has dropped a Fortnite map. It is called Freedom Town,
no, it's
USA.
Not. No, it's not. It can't be. That's
sure is.
That's so.
It is a custom creative map, and it is themed around Harris's campaign pledges, including tax breaks for small businesses and focus on affordable housing. It can be found in the creative, in Fortnite Creative, with a specific code that you can go to play it.
Let's take a look at Freedom Town, shall we?
I think that's so funny. Who knows? Is your laptop available? No.
All right.
Did you set it up to be?
Yeah. I don't know either.
I don't know. You were updating.
Show it on your screen.
Okay, there we go.
Everybody, welcome to Freedom
USA.
Town. There it is. When they released the Fortnite Creators update and the creator tools.
Yeah.
You remember the first thing I think was like Shell Oil or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, we're going to be getting nothing but this kind of stuff.
Yeah, nothing but ads.
Just corporate stuff. It's going to be like walking around in Second Life.
Yeah. Which, like, look, this is a part of gaming history. Second Life was all advertisements. Neopets was all advertisements.
Sure.
And it was all like going to worlds based on things. But I think where we got to for a long time with gaming was just like, oh, let's just put ads on stuff and not like, let's build a world. When I was a kid, you didn't just have a McDonald's ad in Neopets.
No.
You had actual McDonald's foods in a Neopets McDonald's you could go into.
Yeah.
And look,
your
if I'm going to be
Neopets-
advertised to, give me something to play. You know
And
what
your
I mean?
Neopets would say, I'm hungry for McDonald's.
Yeah. And then you would go and you would play a little hop skip game as a Trix Rabbit.
Yeah. You would say, hey, I think this cartoon might be about the Bible. They also released it with dedicated partner streams from people like KDOT and Model Morgue and a bunch of the other Fortnite streamers.
Excellent.
I genuinely, for some, like Tim Wall's playing Crazy Taxi is genuine. It's something. Something that he does that he likes to do. This to me, I don't know. I feel similarly about it as I did about the Biden-Harris Animal Crossing Island.
Right.
Where I'm just like, it's cute.
Yeah.
I don't like it
No.
at all.
No.
It's cute. And I'm glad that somebody on the campaign
Yeah.
got paid to make an Animal Crossing island.
Yes.
That's cool. I'm glad that some probably very out of work game developers right now got to make a Fortnite island for Kamala Harris.
Great.
But boy,
Hopefully got paid very well to do it.
But boy, do I hate, like, you know, the Ovaltine presents
Yeah.
Snickers comedy hour
Sure.
featuring Twizzlers.
Absolutely.
You know?
But the alternative news this week, or yesterday most specifically, was that a quote unquote comedian got up at a Trump rally and made the most blatantly racist remarks that I've actually seen made at a political rally in this cycle. I'm not joking. They did the level of like your fucked up uncle that doesn't get invited to dinner anymore, where he sat there being like, I know I'm pandering and I'm just going to say the joke. And it's not even formatted better than your uncle. I'm just saying it. And it was the most genuinely, unapologetically, blatantly racist stuff that I have seen yet in the campaign cycle.
There's no way.
At an official Trump rally.
Look, Trump campaign versus Kamala campaign duos, there's no way Trump comes out.
So
there's
like,
no way Trump comes out.
So
Kamala's
like,
campaign's like, where are we dropping?
Yeah. So like, whatever. Take me to Freedom Town, USA then, I guess. And look, I will say it every time until this election is over. We do not idolize politicians.
Nope.
Politicians are public servants. However, I will do whatever the fuck it takes for the next week until we get through this election and don't get a fascist elected.
Yeah.
So quite simply, like, evangelize, baby. That's fine. Do what you have to do. And then we can all start being like, okay, hey, we don't idolize politicians. Let's start getting
Do you remember what we said in the beginning of this thing? Do the bit.
Do the
Just
bit.
do the bit.
Get in on the bit.
And then once they win, we can be like, haha, that was a bit.
Yeah.
We don't really think of things the way you think of things. We don't like
Let's
them.
organize.
We don't like them.
Yes. But let's get through it. Let's get through next week, okay?
Somebody in the live studio audience asked, didn't the Kind of Funny team make the Kamala Harris?
They did make one, yeah.
They made the Kamala Harris Island? They made
Oh, no. They
that's
did
what I'm
an
saying.
ad. I think they were saying they did an ad.
No, they did an ad. This was back in the day. And I want you to say, I want you to know really quickly, never give Greg Miller credit for anything, particularly something he did not do.
Yeah.
They Kind of Funny walked around on the Biden Island, and I think they had like a sponsored thing.
Did they?
I think so.
I didn't see that.
Back in the day. But no, they did not make the Biden Island. The Biden Island was made by the Biden-Harris campaign.
Yeah. But this
and
year
it was
they did
taken down by Nintendo.
Oh.
It was taken down by Nintendo because Nintendo was like, no companies, corporations, or political organizations are allowed to make an island to advertise on Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Fortnite said, gimme.
Fortnite said, we
Come on in,
created
gimme.
advertising land.
Come on, gimme.
Not only did we create advertising land,
Yeah.
but we felt so bad that every company couldn't visit advertising land that we gave every company the tools
To make their own advertising.
to go to
land.
advertising land.
Yeah.
I love that for them.
Great.
I love it.
All right. Should we stay in games or a little business?
I'm sorry. I just got a thing in my head of the puppet from Saw doing the Fortnite dances in the character select screen.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great.
Because you can be the character from Saw.
Yeah, you can be Jigsaw.
Not Jigsaw. What's the name of the puppet? The puppet has its own name in the lore now.
Oh, from my understanding in the original movies, that was Jigsaw.
Jigsaw was the puppet is Billy, and that's the puppet that Jigsaw speaks through.
Got it. Okay.
Let's do what gaming news do we have?
Oh, I have some Life is Strange.
Oh, Life is Strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't sound too excited.
Okay.
The new Life is Strange has dropped. It is Life is Strange Double Exposure, and people are not pleased.
Okay.
And I initially clicked in being like, all right, what are we mad about?
This had is this the one that had a pretty troubled development with the removal of that original director, or was that the previous Life
I
is
believe
Strange?
that was the previous Life is Strange, and that we just got that news late because it's over at Deck 9 now.
Right.
So Deck 9 has been working on Life is Strange for a little bit. This is not their first game, but this is the first time revisiting the original canon of the first Life is Strange games since 2015.
I think that's a mistake.
Yeah. It is. It's a huge mistake. And it's not as big of a mistake as what they did with it. In general, it was going to be really hard to go back to these characters. And I was giving a lot of grace because I was like, yeah, it's going to be really hard to go back to these characters and make people happy from a new developer.
No, I like what they've been doing.
Yeah.
It's an anthology series.
Right. However, they decided to go back to Max and not Chloe. Now, I'm going to give spoilers for the end of Life is Strange here, okay? There are two ways. It's been a long time. It's been since 2015, okay? I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
If you want to skip these spoilers, I'll wave my hand when it's done.
Yeah.
At the end of the games, there are two possible endings, and one is that Chloe dies, and one is that Chloe ends up your girlfriend.
Yes.
It's gay. It's lovely. Gays have been holding the Life is Strange franchise on their backs for the last 10 years.
That's the audience.
That is the audience for Life is Strange. And the reason that Life is Strange is such a hit is because they cared and loved these characters and they built out something important with them.
Can I guess which ending they decided was the canon ending?
Well, you can, but they didn't make a decision.
Okay.
They decided that you can decide which ending was canon. You can decide when you start because you can be like, I want to pick up essentially where I left off, right? It's a little weird that you have a chance to kill the lesbian, but sure, as opposed to like, this just happens by my choices. This is like, well, do you want her to be dead? And then, Anthony, if you decide, no, I do not want my girlfriend to be dead. Do you know what happens?
They've broken up and she's gone anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
They've broken up off screen.
Because there was no way they were going to develop that game in two different ways, one with Chloe and one without. Once they decided no Chloe, it was all about giving you whatever multiple choice questions you wanted to get you to the point where there's no Chloe.
And they decided to do this in such a disrespectful way to a relationship that was building over these games so significantly and was so significant to like queer teens specifically, that is so disrespectful that people are really fucking upset about it. Because it's not just that. They treat it like it's like, yeah, well, it was a teenage relationship. They broke up off screen. And that is so messed up. That is so messed up. I read it and I was like, okay.
If you're jumping ahead 30 years to a 40-year-old Max.
But no,
this is probably set right after or a year after.
And the big thing is too, that Chloe was just a significant character in the game no matter what.
Yeah.
It was all about you guys solving these mysteries together. It was all about the adventure that the two of them went on. That is your companion. That is not like
those
a
are the
character in the game. Those are the two main characters of the game.
Those are the two characters that I can recognize and name from Life is Strange.
And they've just decided that Max is just off solving all these mysteries on her own now, like Chloe never happened.
Yo, hey, can we just get like a queer relationship in a piece of media where one of them doesn't have to like violently die or turn evil or something? Like, it'd be nice.
It'd be really nice.
It'd be nice.
I'm looking all the way back to you. 2001 first lesbian kiss on television, Buffy. You know? I'm looking to you. Justice for Tara. This could have been all the way back giving justice to Tara, and nobody will give her justice.
So, let me guess. Deck 9, who has previously said, don't worry, there was only one bad man and we got rid of the one bad man.
Sure you did.
What was their reaction to the player reaction?
So there hasn't been an official reaction from Deck 9 right now, but there has been a reaction from Michael Koch, who is the creative director of Don't Nod and the original co-creator of Life is Strange. And it was such a strange comment because you have to come out because the developers are getting a ton of hate. Like, people are spamming these developers, okay?
And let's remember,
never.
You can make a complaint about a piece of media.
Yep.
You absolutely can have a critical comment about a piece of media without harassing, dogpiling, sea lioning, screaming at, and otherwise threatening the human people behind these games.
Correct. One, you don't even know how these games are made. So a lot of the time, these developers had absolutely no choice in that. They didn't even write the game itself. This is a directive that they were acting out on. And two, even if they did, they're still human people and there's no thing that can happen in a game that can justify that, which was the general kind of comment on it. The tweet said, since the release of Life is Strange Double Exposure, I've seen a lot of tension and hateful messages against Deck 9 devs. Coach wrote, I didn't play the game yet, and I have no idea where they're taking the story, but I know that nothing justifies hating people for how they wrote their game. Now, yes.
Okay, yes.
But also, did you just admit that why haven't you're the co-creator of Life is Strange, and you're so removed from it at this point that you're like, I don't even know where it's going.
Yeah.
That is such a, like, it's not good if you want people to get back on board because people are going to read that and be like, see, the creators of Life is Strange haven't even played the game. Nobody talked to them about it. Nobody
But that's
cares.
the thing is, Don't Nod. I don't think, Don't Nod was removed from the thing that they created. I don't recall whether they sold it voluntarily or whether it was a publishing deal, I think, with Ubisoft, I think. And so Ubisoft owns the IP and they decided not to continue on with Ubisoft. Whatever it is, it's like there was probably it was pretty emotional for the people at Don't Nod to leave Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's weird for him to say, I have not played it. I have not looked at it because I'm not part of it.
Yeah.
It certainly doesn't give a lot of, like you're saying, it doesn't give a lot of faith about the new game.
Yeah.
But that's not his job anymore.
Yeah.
His job now is to make the games that Don't Nod are making. And he said, look, be cool to these people. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not part of it anymore. And like, that I think is a healthy boundary.
I agree. I just think there is a level of like, I don't know what happened before I even write this.
Square
where
Enix,
it would have been a little more effective.
Yes.
If they had just like looked it up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where they're going with the character. I don't know what happened. I haven't played it. Does sound a little bit like people will take and run with that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the tweet is wrong. I'm saying that people who are upset are going to take that and run with it and have another thing that they don't understand about how this works.
But if he doesn't have any inside knowledge too, he wants to be very careful of like,
and that's totally
not
fair.
acting like and you also don't want to make it seem like you're still connected
when you're not,
because you don't want to take credit for something that you aren't doing.
Yeah.
And you don't want to take ownership of something, you know what I mean? And then if people really hate this thing,
you don't want the shitstorm.
You also don't want to be involved with it. So I think it's not the best, but the fact that he even came out in support of the developers.
Yeah.
Because he's probably getting a lot of tweets from people that are like, can you believe what they did? Do you like what they did?
Yeah.
Do you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs?
Mm-hmm.
Will you wear wigs?
Right.
And he's just like,
just don't be mean to people.
And
we agree with that. We agree with don't be mean to people. It's very interesting. I think for the most part, the sentiment from fans is we literally would have rather you just let it be that Chloe was dead. Because there was like a sacrifice and a choice. And
choose a
like,
canon ending.
Right. If you had chosen that canon ending, that would be one thing. But why give us the choice just to not acknowledge her? And it's not like, oh, we really get into her dealing with the aftermath of Chloe. Chloe essentially doesn't get acknowledged.
Well, because you can't.
It is implied that they broke up off screen. They don't even get into it.
Because you can't leave in reactions to death and pretend they're reactions to a breakup. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying this. They made the right decision.
Yeah.
I'm saying once they decided no Chloe, they should have made the decision because then they could have done pictures, they could have done scenes of Max looking at the photo, scenes of Max crying.
Sure.
They could have done that. The moment they decided we're not making a decision on this, you took out any ability for Max to react to Chloe's absence in any way.
It's so weird though, because other games that allow you to make choices have figured out how to do it. Other games put in the work to develop the actual 2 different pathways, or at least put a cutscene, then move on. Put a cutscene of her dealing with it and then move on, because she doesn't deal with it either way.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I think if it's something that you believe is too big to develop around for whatever reason, if you're like, we can't make 2 versions of everything, we can't do this, we don't have the money, it's out of scope, it's this, it's that.
You don't have to make 2 different versions of the whole
then
game.
what you
so
do?
Many games
No. But I'm saying if this is their thought process, just choose the canon ending.
Right.
Choose which ending is canon. Kodoroku is also bringing up a good point, which is like, Ashley Burch wasn't going to work on this game. Square Enix doesn't do union productions.
Wild.
So that's a character you would have had to recast anyway, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying then even just acknowledge her without her in it.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying pick the canon.
Yeah.
Say she died or say they broke up.
Yes.
So you can have a definitive emotional reaction.
People, I think, would be a lot less upset if they had just honored the memory of this character. Because we all know that fridging lesbians is a problem. And though the ending of her dying doesn't feel like that, it does now.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, you really had killed off this character in a way that felt okay and justified and like in a good place. And then they just said, what if not?
What if not? It's weird. I don't know. It's the Deck 9 takeover of Life is Strange has not been going well at all for them. I don't know why Deck 9 was picked.
Yeah.
We may never know.
Yeah.
But it does feel like they've been wanting to put their own stamp on the series.
Yeah.
In a way that has been detrimental to the series in terms of how fans view it.
For sure. And hey, once again, don't harass anybody.
Yeah.
No game is worth it. Okay?
No. Hey, let's talk about a very cool and good thing that happened in New York City.
Okay. All right.
In New York City, they had a Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest.
Right.
If we can show this TikTok here. Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest. Timothy Chalamet is from all over New York. And listen, if you know anything about New York is the most Timothy Chalamet filled city maybe in the world.
A lot of these people are delusional.
A lot of them are delusional and they just have floppy hair.
There's a few of them that I'm like, oh, okay, I see that one. But there's quite a few that it's like,
listen,
shut up.
Yeah, but if you're looking for
who told you that?
If you're looking for an angular floppy haired Jewish man, New York ain't a bad place to look.
Sure.
So they had the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest. It was in Washington Square Park. They got kicked out of Washington Square Park for causing too much of a ruckus.
It is a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. It was a lot of Timothys and a lot of people who want to date somebody who looks like a Timothy. That they interviewed a lot of them and they were like, I'm here to find a boyfriend that looks like Timothy Chalamet.
I'd say we got very few Timothys and a lot of Jimothys, a few Kimothys, some Himothys.
Yeah.
I would say I don't see anybody that I'm like, oh, that's Timothy Chalamet.
We have some great value.
There's a decent one.
Yeah, we have some great value Atreides in the crowd there. But it was a fun thing. There was a first prize. I think it was something like $100 or something like that.
Great.
One person showed up to the competition. And I think had it on lock from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that person was Timothy Chalamet, who found out about the contest and showed up to take pictures with everybody.
Which is very funny because given his current haircut and mustache situation, he's one of the least Timothy Chalamet looking people here.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't recognize that as Timothy Chalamet on the street. If I saw that man on the street.
That is any dude in Silver Lake.
Yeah.
That is anybody.
I definitely didn't recognize him immediately.
But he showed up. He took pictures with everybody. He was like hanging out and talking with everyone.
Yeah.
He was apparently very, very cool about it.
Great.
I think it's a cool move.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool move.
For sure.
I think about it reminded me immediately of Dolly Parton's story about entering a Dolly Parton lookalike contest.
Yeah.
And
Didn't she lose?
She lost.
Yeah.
She lost to a drag queen. She's like, I lost the most beautiful drag queen I've ever seen in my life.
Great. Or Bryan Cranston going as Walter White to Comic-Con with a face mask.
Yep.
You got like a Bryan Cranston face mask.
A lot of celebrities did. Andrew Garfield, second best Spider-Man, did show up to Comic-Con in a Spider-Man costume and asked a question at the Spider-Man panel.
Yeah, great.
But this was not one of those fun for social moments.
Yeah.
This was just, dude heard it was happening and he was in town.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You have to.
If you can go, you gotta go.
I would you go, or like, if it was you, would you be like, that's too weird, I'm not getting anywhere near there?
Yes, but it's also why I'm not an actor, because I hate to be perceived.
Yes.
So like, would I enjoy that? No, that would give me an existential crisis. But I think it's a good move for someone like Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah. For Timothée Chalamet, who can't get around being famous no matter where he is.
Yes.
You might as well show up.
Right. Would you go?
If there was like an Anthony Carboni lookalike contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
I think that's just meta and weird enough that I would.
Yeah. But they all look like the male protagonist in every video game.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be anyone. When I was at that party last night, guy was like, you do look familiar to me. I was like, I literally look like this. Like, I'm just the guy who has that haircut and a beard. Of course I look familiar to you. What are you talking about?
Doesn't mean we know each other. It means you've met a guy.
It means it's congratulations on meeting a white guy in the last 10 years. I didn't say it like that.
No, sure.
But,
you're polite to a man at a party.
Yeah.
I guess.
There was another contest that I'd like to bring up, Saige, if I may.
And this is the last story we have time for.
We were talking about how there aren't enough Halloween sort of things in the
there wasn't
news.
enough Halloween news.
This is one of my favorite Halloween newses every year. This is the Mundane Halloween costume contest that happens in Japan every year. Daily Portals, which is a popular Japanese website, hosts their annual contest to dress up as something ridiculously ordinary. Like super ridiculously ordinary.
Here is a thread of some of this person's faves. This is person who really likes the crunchy part of the corn dog.
And I like that he's wearing a shirt with him on it.
Yep.
I don't think, it's not one of my favorites in the thread.
No,
but
not my personal favorite. I like this one, which is guy sweating bullets because he's been asked to cut the pizza into 4 equal slices at lunch with important business contacts he's never met before.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Extremely specific. I love it. Student volunteer at university's open campus day.
Yes. Even worked the lanyard into the costume.
Very
Bonus
simple.
points for
Straight
that.
to the point.
Person standing in line at the security checkpoint of an airport. What you can't see in this picture is those baskets are like on suspenders and like a belt.
That's so funny.
So they don't have to carry that the whole time.
That's so thoughtful. Person who foolishly ordered curry udon despite wearing white clothes.
And it's not the after.
No.
Which I love. It's the before.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
much more
person-
mundane.
It's the person realizing it.
Guy at karaoke surreptitiously trying to learn the next song in the queue.
Oh my God. Can I tell you, when I saw that, I didn't realize how regular that guy is.
Yeah.
But that guy is like at every karaoke bar, just like, no, I'm going to sing along with this next one.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking at the entire queue and they're like, yeah. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
It's not about you, bud. I love this man who keeps getting mistaken for a store employee, and he's wearing like the all black with the slacks and the shiny shirt unbuttoned. And
students who went to the cafe to study but ended up spending the whole time reading manga and looking at their phones. Again, everybody attached everything to it. I love that it was for mundane costumes. If you did mundane costumes in America, everyone would be lazy as hell about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Americans are lazy. It's just like a thing that you see at Halloween parties where people are like, tee-hee, isn't it funny how low effort my costume is?
Right.
This is like high effort mundane costumes.
Yeah,
and that's why I love it.
That's the perfect thing about it. A guy who just got back from the pool and he's just got the goggle lines.
Actor in an airline safety video.
Not mundane enough for me.
I agree.
This one is also not mundane enough for me. It's Ophelia from Hamlet.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wedding photographer. That's
Yes.
fun. I like that.
I love it.
I think that's very good.
That guy probably is a wedding photographer.
Part-time worker paid to brace the fence at the front of a live concert.
That's a great group costume.
Yeah.
That's a perfect group costume.
He's just the guy bracing the fence. These are all great.
Yeah. That's a woman who is only a fan of the Tigers because her boyfriend got her into it.
Person who was stingy and only paid for the smallest plastic bag. Just too much stuff in a plastic bag.
Yeah.
That's all.
They're good. Photo of your dad when he was your age.
That's really good. These are all very fun.
Yeah. They're great.
I love it.
Wonderful costumes. Like you said, I don't think you could do this in America, but I would love to.
I would love to. It would be great.
We should sponsor it.
Yeah.
We have to start planning for next Halloween.
Of course.
We're running out of time.
Yeah.
This is her mindset and I'm just keying into it.
Thank you. Yeah.
But we should do that.
Yeah.
I love a mundane costume.
Yeah.
I love either an ornate costume or a mundane costume and nothing in between.
Nothing in between. And I love that about you.
Thank you.
Which we didn't say. Today you are a skeleton.
Today I am a skeleton, but I am a business skeleton. I am a skeleton doing business. You can't see, but my pants also have the bones on them. It's a 3-piece suit.
And I'm Gadget from Rescue Rangers.
Imagine this.
Yeah.
I'm capitalism.
You don't have to imagine it. We can see it.
I'm capitalism.
Puts it
Think
on his
about
face.
that. Now it's a costume with a meaning. Whoa.
And that's it, everybody. That's all the show that we have time for. If you are dressing up for Halloween this year, I would love to hear what y'all are dressing up as. Did you celebrate Halloween weekend? Are you doing something on Thursday? Or do you consider Halloween weekend the weekend after Halloween? That one's really close to Halloween, but
tricky.
It's in November. Nobody's able to decide this year.
It's
It all
tricky.
kind of got split.
If you are watching on YouTube, leave comments. Let us know.
Yeah.
If you are watching on Twitch, we can see you right now. But both groups of you, it would be great for you to go to the Discord and share your costumes in the It's Too Early channel.
Yeah, we would love to see it. If you're like, oh, man, I really want an excuse to put this costume on and maybe there aren't plans because I feel like Halloween's a little off this year. I'm not going to lie.
It might
Halloween's
be
a little off this year.
It might be where the date is landing.
It might be it. Nobody knew what to plan or when to plan it. So it's not just you. If you want an excuse to put it on, do it. To put it in the Discord if you want to. And that's it. We're going to go through and we're going to thank everyone who supported us on the show. There's a lot of ways that you can do so. You can go to patreon.com/pixelcircus. And for $5 a month or a 7-day free trial, you can get a bonus clip from this show every single week. Last week, we did what did we do?
Yes.
We had the spacing out competition. It's
That's
actually
right.
a great video that you should go and watch that gets a little existential. It was a very fun Patreon video. We covered another great contest of people just spacing out. So go and watch that. There's a bunch of other stuff there. We also have some new stuff coming there soon. So go and subscribe. You can subscribe on Twitch. You can tip during the show. We really appreciate it. You literally keep this network running. We are an independent studio making things. And it's really kind of you to do things. You can do things for free. You can like the video. You can leave a comment on it on YouTube. You can just follow on any of the channels.
Yeah.
That's all for free.
Thank you to everybody who has been sharing the show out on social media, sharing it with friends, just telling people about it. Like Saige said, we're doing it on our own, baby.
Woo.
So thank you for helping us out. We literally see it all, and it really does make a difference. We're gonna go through and thank everybody who, by the way, supported us directly during the show. But first of all, Saige, what are you up to? If people want to see more Saige,
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. How about you, Anthony?
you can find me everywhere at A Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. We did not get a chance to stream on Friday, so I will be streaming today instead. Come watch me play some horror games. They're good, and it's the time of year.
And there's no Alex again. We're on our own.
Nope.
We're all by ourselves. So thank you for spending your morning with us, everyone. We love you. And we will see you soon.
Soon.
You know.
Probably Monday.
Monday.
Probably Monday, not on Friday, but Monday.